Sorry to interrupt. But to bring back the old tradition, can you please enable screen sharing?
Oh, is it not enabled right now? Or is it a security feature? Yeah, sure. Enable screen share. It's enabled. Smaran, you're muted. Just letting you know.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Old tradition.
Welcome
Ah,
to Stay Curious version 2.0.
2.0.
Oof. I forgot.
What do you want in version 2.0, man?
This is version 2.0.
This is version 2.0? Like, what's in version? What's going to be there in version 2.0?
The new style of teaching.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what I'm doing, by the way, okay? I wanted to make sure we spoke and we actually. So, the idea basically is that, hey, what if we actually get together and just discuss a topic? And maybe we can do that at some frequency and pick a topic that's like, on our mind, that's like, pick one topic for the day, dig deep into it, maybe build something with it. What I loved back then, what I started missing was the kind of questions we used to go into and then just like let it go wherever it is and come up with
Yes,
something very
sir.
deep.
So that used to be so fun, sir. Like we would start on a topic, and at the end of the class, we would be in a topic which is totally irrelevant to the first starting topic.
Yeah, totally irrelevant is what we want. Yeah, I guess we can do that. I guess we can do that. So, oh, actually, it's a water bottle. Cool. I was wondering for a moment what it is. Like, yeah, the topic for today, I thought we could talk about. Do you all remember we spoke about Newton's laws long ago?
Yes, sir. Long ago. Yes, sir. I remember, sir.
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time, we spoke about Newton's law. Hmm. Do you remember Newton's first law?
It depends.
Yes, sir. When
Aman says
when
it depends.
forces apply.
Aman says once again, just before we cut.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm so curious. You said it depends whether you remember or
Yeah.
not. What does that mean?
It depends whether. It depends which one of the three that I remember is the first one.
Ah, okay. But you remember all three, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. An object in motion will stay in motion until acted upon by an unbalanced force. No, an object in motion will stay in motion, or an object in motion will, or an object at rest will stay at rest unless and until acted upon by an unbalanced force. That's the most boring definition I've ever heard.
You know what happened with the D-R-E.
Yes, I was hoping you would end it with that. That's the most boring definition. And Smaran, okay, maybe we can do this. Like, Smaran, what's like the non-boring definition of this?
Like I'd say a non-boring definition is when you're standing still and something comes and pushes you, you keep moving and you try to stop moving, but you're not able to stop moving.
Fair enough. So you're
If
standing,
you're in space.
if
Yes.
you're in space, if somebody pushes you, you can't stop yourself. That's one way to
Yes, sir.
that's one way to put Newton's first law. Okay. Okay. So you can't move yourself. Is that one way to put it? And if
No.
someone moves you, you can't stop yourself.
You can stop yourself, and
Ah.
that's the second part of the definition. If an unbalanced force is acted upon, so
Although-
you can.
Let's dig in now. I'm already excited. How do I stop myself? I'm moving in space. How do I stop myself?
You throw
So
a
you
hand
can-
on the
I'm
opposite
like
direction.
essentially I'm floating through space. Okay, I'm like flying away from my spaceship. How do I stop myself?
Let's just say you happen to have a hammer on you. Hypothetical situation, you had a hammer on you, you just fling it, but even
Yeah, and it'll push
Yeah.
you back.
fling it towards the side that you want to go. Like Thor's hammer. You know how he keeps spinning it.
Something heavy enough, throw it in one direction and then like
Yeah.
And you'll go the other direction. Yeah.
Fair. Okay, so
No. You'll follow that. It's like something's pulling you. You will follow the thing.
there's like a Thor's hammer going like a bus. You hold on to it and you go along with the bus. Is that what
Yeah. It'll go
Oh,
Yeah.
you're saying so you're in the middle of space. There's a Thor's hammer floating exactly in the direction you want to go, and then you hold on to it and take a hitch a ride. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
When you said hypothetically, I was hoping that it would be a little bit in the realm of possibility. This feels like a little too far. Okay, let's imagine you have nothing on. I mean, maybe you have maybe you have a phone on you or something. Then I mean, what do you do if there's nothing flying around, Aman?
You can't swim because there's no air.
Perfect.
So I have a
You sneeze.
hypothetical thing.
You
Your
sneeze.
hypothetical situation? Yeah, okay, let's go for your hypothetical situation. What's your hypothetical situation?
So it's not the best idea I can think of.
Yeah.
It's a little disgusting idea you can think of. You can just
I
fart, sir.
think I know what you're gonna say. The moment you said it's a disgusting idea, I think I knew what you're gonna say. Eat a lot of potato chips or whatever you need, and then just. I mean, it's essentially what rockets do. They gobble a bunch of fuel and then like fart it out the other end, and then they fly. Aman cannot handle this. Aman is like, this is just. Stay Curious version 2.0 is disgusting.
No, I love this.
It's a brilliant analogy. I agree, Smaran, and I'm not going to say anything more about it. Yeah, I guess it's a balloon-like thing. That's all we can imagine. Aman, let's just imagine a balloon, and you can open the balloon out. I'm going to dig a little bit deeper because one of the goals I had today was, what if we could try and code Newton's first law? And were you guys there in one of the classes that I coded Newton's first law?
Oh yes, please. But we haven't learned P5GS though.
Yeah, but let's just. I don't think you need. Honestly, I don't think you need to know too much of the syntax. Like we can play around with
I've
it.
learned a bit of it, but not much. And may I just say,
Yeah,
I was gonna say you instead of farting, you sneeze.
That's a cleaner example.
Yes.
That's a cleaner example.
That's way better.
It's politically correct. You can tell it in front of your teachers. You can tell it in front of your parents, and nobody will look at you like.
So, but then there's one thing, sir.
Yeah.
For sneezing, you just gulp a lot of air in and you release it in one go. Like you go like, achoo, like that. So there's no air to gulp in.
Oh no, but I realized a flaw with that. You have a mask on. You have a big space helmet on. You can't sneeze, and it can't push you back. Same thing with farting.
Yeah, same thing with
It's
farting.
being covered.
Yeah, at some point, I knew we'll uncover this issue of the fact that if you're just floating. I mean, it's a question we can go into if we want to, which is, can you just be floating in space without a spacesuit? But it'll be a different question. It will not be Newton's first law question. It'll be a different question. It'll be a question about. By the way, what's your answer though?
I self.
So you'll just explode because of the vacuum.
Yeah.
So because the body will exert the opposite pressure, because in the normal atmospheric region, a lot of pressure is being acted upon you, and the body puts an equivalent opposite pressure to counteract it. Whereas in space, there's a vacuum, so actually the body should put no pressure, but the body puts it and it will just explode. I think.
Will the entire body explode? Or Aman, this is amazing. Aman raises hand. There's just three of us, and Aman is like, I'm raising hand because that's what I do when I have to talk. Aman, you're like so amazingly well mannered that I'm like, I almost feel embarrassed to be with you. I'm like, can I match up to your? Okay, wait. I'm going to come to a raised hand, but I have one question. Is it the entire body exploding, or is it the air in the lungs that because there's now I open my mouth and the air outside and the air inside are at the same pressure? But if there's no air outside, then it's gonna go out. So a bunch of things that's gonna happen. I have to think more deeply about whether we'll explode immediately. What will happen to the blood in our body? I don't know. But before we do
So
that,
your blood vessels will burst.
yeah, they should, right? I mean, I
Because-
feel like they have the pressure and this gonna have. But will that happen immediately, or I just want to think a little bit more about will it happen immediately, or
Please
what will happen
sometimes.
first? What will happen after? When I was in school, before your raised hand, Aman, I think when I was in school, I was reading this thing of what happens to you when you enter a black hole. It was like one of the most horrifying things to read. Like what slowly happens to you step by step. So it's not fun to say you get destroyed, right? It's step by step. Hey, this is what will happen to you first. Then this is what happens to you. Then this is what happens to you. One of the creepy things in that was that if somebody says, "Help me," just at the event horizon, that sound will keep rotating there for not sound really, like if they let out a radio signal, that's "help me." It'll just keep rotating there for ever. And anybody who ever passes that will just hear "help me" alone. Then they can't help anyone. They're gone. I remember being really creeped out by that when I was a student. Have you all read about what happens as you slowly go to a black hole?
I never even believed black holes are real.
Wait, you don't believe black holes are real?
But I thought they were just like a myth until I I learned that it's a real thing, and then I'm like,
I mean, that's great actually. Like, I'm glad that you're more skeptical, like even more skeptical than I thought. Like, usually it's better to be that, but now it's time to talk about the raised hand. What is your raised hand want?
I might have forgotten.
Oh, this is the problem with this is the problem with talking about something else. I'll tell you. Wait, you were
Yes.
raising your hand when we were talking about getting destroyed in space. Like, will we explode? That's what we were talking about.
No, I remember it is something else.
We want to talk about something else. That's okay. So we'll come back to
Oh,
whether
yes. Ah, got it.
yeah.
So, if we were to move, we were talking about moving, right? So, you know how the Earth spins, right? One side is heavier than the other, so it keeps spinning and spinning and spinning.
One side is heavier than the other. What do you mean?
Yeah. There's some other random planet that just decided to collide with Earth, like a billion, like so. Basically, Earth was like this volcano planet. If it
Oh, so something else collided with the Earth, and because of that, it started spinning, and it could never stop spinning.
Yeah, pretty much.
So even I didn't know that, sir. Honestly, I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
and
I didn't know how it.
and then the other planet became the moon. Half of it went into Earth, and then the other half became the moon, and that's why the moon exists. And then that was also a volcano planet, but over the years it kept cooling down.
And then it stopped. Now the question is, would the Earth have not? Was it one collision that made the Earth spin? You think so?
No. I mean, like you said in your masterclass, if you throw a ball, it'll never stop spinning
Yeah.
or rolling in space.
Yeah.
I feel that's one of the main factors. But I asked my teacher, does the sun's gravity play a role in this?
Does the sun's okay? I think we're getting into really interesting questions. Does the sun's gravity play a role? If the sun had no gravity, would the Earth still keep spinning? That's question one.
I asked her. She's like, no, because it's only helping with the revolution. It's not really interfering with the rotation. So then
In a weird way, it is. In a weird way, but they won't talk about this too much. It's actually trying. Can I confuse you a little bit?
Sure, sir.
Enlighten me.
Definitely, sir. I know nothing about this, sir. So I would love to get confused.
Okay. It's actually okay. So we all know the Earth is going around the sun because of gravity. Yeah. Otherwise, the Earth wouldn't care. It would just like
Everyone knows that.
the Earth would have no reason to stay around the sun. That's clear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but okay. On the rotation itself, the sun's gravity actually has a negative effect. It's trying to stop us. It's actually trying to stop us from rotating. But why is that? Do you want to know? Or we should talk about our new
No. I had a theory.
your theory. Great. Tell me your theory. How can the sun stop us from rotating? Why does the sun want it? How is that possible?
Firstly, at first I thought it was helping the sun rotate. Sorry, the Earth rotate.
Huh?
Then I realized why it's not, because the planet collided, started spinning. And then I don't know whether this is actually true. It's just a hypothesis. I think one half of the planet was too much on one side of the Earth, so it ended up.
You mean to say one side of the Earth is like much heavy? If you were to cut the Earth like and then take it out, like one side would be really heavy compared to the other.
Have you seen?
Sir, but then one side, then that means one side should have more gravity than the other side.
No, gravity is a force. It's not really to do with anything with the heaviness, because gravity has nothing to do with mass.
Oh, does
It just
gravity have nothing to do with mass?
I mean, it determines your mass, but
Does it determine your mass?
your weight, but
Your weight.
gravity has nothing to do with mass. I don't think so.
So, what do you think gravity depends on? Like, does an elephant get pulled harder towards the Earth than an ant, or doesn't?
Yeah, it
What's
does.
your answer, Smaran? Does the Earth pull an elephant harder than it pulls an ant?
I don't think so, sir.
I don't think so. Okay.
It's just the amount of like an ant won't feel the force much because the acceleration, it just won't feel the force much because it's speed, like not its speed, like it won't feel it much.
Don't feel it much. I know what you guys are talking about.
I think I
Make up your mind. So Smaran has given his verdict. He says that if I am Earth, if I have to apply a force and like pull the elephant, I apply the same force that I pull on the ant. The earth applies equal force on ant and elephant. Yes or no? Smaran says yes.
So, but I have a doubt in that.
Before you say that, Aman's answer
Yes.
also incorrect. What is your answer?
Yes, sir.
I feel like yes, it will pull it differently because of the weight differs. So if something has more mass, so it'll it'll need more pulling down. Like you have a well, right? You have a well and you put a pot inside and a pulley. Smaran's just frantically nodding at me.
Smaran is
No,
agreeing.
no.
Smaran is
I'm like,
agreeing
yes,
vigorously
yes.
with you.
Continue. Go on. Like,
Yeah. He's like, yeah, talk about the pot, talk about the well. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have a well and you put a bucket inside, you have a pulley. If it's a heavier bucket, you have to pull more because it's more amount of water to take up. So, therefore, ergo, thus, I believe that
The earth does.
gravity has to act up more on a heavier object. Although it doesn't make much sense now that I say it out loud.
Why
but
doesn't it
I
actually
still
make sense?
believe it.
I mean, it makes
Because
sense.
gravity is not a variable. Gravity is fixed. It's the same for everyone. But I still
Is that true? Though? So gravity is fixed for everyone. Is that true? We'll come to that. But Smaran has also raised his
but
hand.
it's not like okay, no, one second. Sir. Sorry, Smaran.
no. Go
Sorry,
on.
Smaran. Like, sorry,
You
but
let them-
we have to talk about this. Yeah.
Uh, so gravity is not a variable. Like a gravity can be like, hey elephant, come let me pull him more. Hey ant, I'll just push him up a little more. It's not like gravity sits and decides. Gravity is just there and it's just fixed. I don't think gravity can be altered as of now.
Wow.
Sir, I have one thing, sir.
I don't even know how to react to that because I have so many reactions. It's beautiful. Can we talk about this? Does gravity care about who you are? Right. That's the question. Does gravity? Before we come to you, Smaran,
We
just
should do
one more.
that for a master class.
Aman is saying, hey, as gravity, do I care whether I'm pulling an elephant or do I know at all? Or do I just pull everybody equally? Like, do I care? That's your point, right, Aman?
Yes, sir.
Yep. All right. Let's talk about this. But
There
yes,
should be a master class. There should be a topic for master class.
should be, no? Yeah.
Should gravity care about who you are? Like
Does
put a
gravity
little
care?
differently.
But I think Smaran's about to start. Smaran's like, can I open my mouth? Let me open. Yeah, Smaran, open. Let's open.
Sir, like, this is what I think, sir. I might be wrong, sir. I think gravity does care. It's like if the object is heavier, it should experience more gravity. But then it's like, sir, sir, it's like there was this Veritasium video about it, sir. Aman, do you know about Veritasium?
I think that's is this the one where there's a lake and then he asks why is the earth spinning continuously? I know
think
Veritasium.
he's made videos for a long time. He's made a lot of physics videos.
Yes, sir.
Like,
This was like 10 years ago one.
Yeah.
So he spoke about this. He says a heavier thing, it gets pulled towards the earth with more force, but then the heavier thing doesn't reach the ground faster than an ant because it also takes more force to get pulled upon.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand that concept very well,
I-
so I'm just telling what he told.
So that's the problem I realized when I made videos as well. Like it kind of sounds nice. Hey, heavier objects get pulled more by the earth, but because it's also harder to pull them, they fall equally. Sounds amazing, right? You can go say it to someone, but I mean, do we really get it? Yeah, I don't want to talk about it too much today. We can, but you're right, Smaran. Like, and Aman, it's perfectly reasonable. I love what Aman said. You gave me like a reason to believe you. Like, if I was an alien and I was like, I don't like, why should I believe you guys humans? You gave me like a reasonable thing to believe. Like you said, hey, think of a pulley, pull it. Heavier it is, more you have to pull. Which means when you're pulling, you're basically fighting gravity. If you have to fight harder with gravity, it means gravity is fighting harder with you, right? For a heavier object. So does a heavier object get more massive object? Does it get pulled more? Yes, it does. What happened, Aman?
I'm gonna gracefully raise my hand.
Yeah, Aman. Gracefully raise your hand. On what?
What if the reason it keeps varying is because of mass? The mass is what is fighting with the gravity, and therefore, ergo, thus, I believe three dots in a triangle. I believe, yeah. So I don't know. I just feel like mass is actually acting against gravity in some sort of way.
Acting
So, but
against
I don't
gravity.
get the concept of mass. Like they say quantity of matter, what is that? Like I don't understand. They say mass
Basically,
into
the amount of molecules.
gravity is weight. Like I don't understand that. Like if they say 1 kg mass, they are like 9.8 newtons of weight is pulled on. Like what is mass? Like quantity. Like I think quantity is like, like size. Like you have more quantity of water than me. You got more milk than me. You got more quantity of milk than me. Like I don't understand that. Is it like the volume? Is it like the size?
Is it the volume? Then we would just call it volume, right? Like, hey, 1 liter of
Yeah.
water and 1 liter of oil have different masses, right? Like, that's what we believe. So
Yes, sir.
Aman is unhappy with this whole thing. Aman is like, yeah, I know. Why is the world like this? It's like,
I'm just wondering.
yeah.
Does mass have something to do? And just to answer Smaran,
There are two questions on the table here. You're asking Aman, does mass have anything to do with gravity? Hey, if there is more mass, will there be more gravity pulling it? Like, will gravitational force be higher? Smaran is like, hey, first of all, before discussing all that, what is this mass thing? Like, we are just using it. It's the amount of matter. Hey, what is this amount of matter? Isn't that your question, Smaran? Like,
Yes, sir. That's
what
right.
do you mean amount of matter? What? It doesn't. Have you also heard the other definition? It's the measurement of the inertia of something. Like, hey, how much does it? How difficult it is to move something?
So it's like even my teacher, she told the same thing. She's like, mass is the quantity of matter. It's measured with a beam balance. That's measured with a spring balance. That's all you gotta remember. It's like she didn't
Beam balance, if
exactly
you put, you get
explain what
weight.
is it.
Beam balance, if you put, you get mass. So whatever you get with beam balance is mass. Whatever you
Yeah,
get with
yeah.
beam
She
balance
just,
is
she
weight.
just, yeah.
If you ask what this is, you'll tell that. If you ask what that is, you can tell this. Circularly, we can do it. Aman is like, hey, you know what? I'm here. No, like, okay, let's see if we can talk about this today. Yeah, Aman.
so basically, I think I'm gonna give it the school way.
Okay.
I feel it's the amount of molecules of that type of matter in that matter. So I have a mouse. The amount of molecules. Oh shit! Stop. So the amount of mouse molecules in this mouse.
You just called it mouse molecules? I just love it, dude. Like I am in awe of your explanation already. Yeah, let's go for it. Yeah. The amount of mouse molecules in the mouse.
The amount, it's basically, I think mass is the amount of not mouse, amount of bottle molecules in a bottle that makes up this bottle. That's mass.
Do you feel convinced, Smaran?
Not exactly, sir.
Oh, really?
So like this is what I think. Like
Yeah.
based on Aman's thing, this is what I think. Like okay, so suppose you have iron. You have a block of iron, like one by one, height, length, and breadth. So you have two of them. In one, it's more densely packed, so you have double the amount of molecules. And in the other, it's just the same. It's not densely packed; it's just normally packed. So so the one which is more densely packed should be pulled more to the earth. Like that is the mass. Like that has more mass. Like let's not get into the earth concept. This has more mass than this.
Yeah.
I would like to
That's a
rebuttal.
reasonable way to think about it. That's a reasonable way to think about it.
So it
And,
is because like density is equal to mass by volume. Oh yeah, now I feel convinced. So now how is mass related to density and
I
volume?
have a rebuttal. I have a rebuttal.
he has a rebuttal. Interesting. Yeah, Aman. So Aman says
Yes.
this way of thinking about it is like, nah. Yeah. So why, Aman? What's the problem?
Think of 1 kg of cotton and 1 kg of iron.
Yeah.
Think what? 1 kg of iron is more dense than cotton, but it's still 1 kg because cotton is lighter. So cotton, you need more. The cotton has to be denser in order to match the weight of 1 kilogram of iron, which is actually dense in its default state.
So that's not what Smaran said though. Smaran didn't say they both look the same size, right? So in this case, 1 kg of iron, if I understood you, Smaran, correctly, 1
Yes.
kg of iron might look this small, Aman, and 1 kg of cotton might look like huge.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. Like, but both of them have the same amount of matter because they're both 1 kg. Because you've defined 1 kg as some amount of matter, but they'll both have very different volumes. So you'll calculate their densities to be different. An iron would be more dense, and cotton would be less dense.
Maybe the denser iron that Manan was talking about was in reality lighter than the thing. So it has to be more dense to be able to match up with the other iron. I'm
So
just
I have one question to you all. You do even need the concept of density to understand mass, because you can derive, say, you can understand mass is more fundamental in some ways, the way I think about it. Yeah, in one ways. So mass, you have like amount of substance, and then you look at how much space it's occupying, and then divide the two, you get density. More of those. Maybe can I try this? I'm going to try something. Okay, I'm going to argue this way. I'm going to not look at solids because this whole packing and all, I don't care. I'm going to take a box, put some air molecules in it. The box size is same, and I put 10 molecules of oxygen in it that has like a mass of 10 oxygen. If I put 100 in it, it has a mass of 100 oxygen. Uh, is one of them more massive than this one?
So the massiveness, I'd say it's the same size, but then it has more of them. Like if you
Yeah,
understand
so
me,
I'm
it has
looking at
more
the
of
box
them.
itself. The box itself, is this box more massive or is this box more massive? This box has 100 balls of oxygen inside, and this box has like some 10 balls of oxygen inside. So what would you say? Aman is like, no, I'm deeply in thought about the previous question.
and both of them show the same weight.
I didn't say that. Weight we've not even come to. I'm just saying mass is amount of matter. We've gotten into the mass versus weight debate here, which we will close today, and then we'll go to Newton's first law. It's okay. Uh, I'm not saying anything about the weight. That's what I'm going to ask you next. But 10 molecules of oxygen in one box and 10 molecules, 100 in another box. Is one of them more massive than the other?
No.
No, they're both
This-
equally massive.
Yeah, they're about equal. Size is the same.
Yeah, the size is another word for volume, right? So the volume is the same.
Volume is same, but the mass is different.
The mass is different, Aman says. Which has more mass?
100.
The one with the 100,
Because it has
more of them.
matter, right? More matter packed into it. Actually, you know what? Honestly, a reasonable way to think about it is this whole. I'll tell you why, Smaran, they tell you it as amount of matter, because honestly, we don't have a better way to put it. It's like, it's like we're trying to think, how do we now define this thing called.
So, but like if they say amount of molecules, that would actually be a better definition. Amount of molecules packed into a
Yeah.
volume, a standard unit of volume, something like that.
But it's not that though. It's not the amount of molecules packed into a standard unit of volume. You can take as much volume as you want. Like a mountain of cotton is more massive than a small iron block.
When the density is same.
So you don't have to talk about density at all to talk about mass. Hey, there's a mountain of cotton and there's like a ball of iron, which is more massive.
The cotton.
Yeah, it's just so you don't have to talk about density at all, right? Like we don't have to talk about the volume itself. You can forget about it. Then if you ask you, hey, which is more dense, then you can ask, hey, how much space is it packed into?
So, but then, like suppose if you have one full truck of cotton is very light. So let's say it weighs only like half a kg of mass. And you have a block of iron, it's very, it weighs 1 kg. So cotton is more massive than iron, but it has lesser mass than iron.
Cotton is more massive than iron, but it has lesser mass. You mean lesser density, I think.
Lesser mass because I mean the weight. The iron has 1 kg weight, and the cotton has half a kg weight. Like I'm talking about a massive piece of cotton.
Okay.
Like you'll need a
half kg.
massive piece of cotton to match the block of iron.
Iron,
But I'm
correct.
talking about a massive piece of cotton.
Perfect.
It's still bigger. The volume is still
Not
bigger,
bigger.
but then the
This
mass
much
is.
cotton versus this much iron. Yeah. They both,
Yeah.
you put them on a beam balance, they're equal.
No, I'm saying if you put them on a beam balance, it's not equal. The iron is still heavier.
Oh, then,
But
then the iron is more
Oh.
massive. Yeah.
But then the volume of the cotton is still bigger than the iron.
Correct. Yeah. So, you're saying therefore the amount of substance in cotton must be more because it is bigger. Aman is like, I have to talk right now. I think I got the exact point you're making, Smaran. I want to talk about it. Yeah, Aman.
Um, Maybe because cotton is less dense in terms of it's more pores. It has more pores.
It has more emptiness in it, so the
Yeah.
amount of
So,
matter actually
sir,
flows.
but then
Yeah.
you'll still need to use density in that. So it's like when you talk about the definition of mass, you need to use density, and then density is itself talked upon using the definition of mass.
Correct. But the density being brought into the definition of mass is your creation, Swaran. You
Yes,
brought
sir. I want to know the actual
Yeah.
exactly, sir.
So
That's my doubt.
I can, yeah. So I'm gonna give like the boring definition first. Let's start with that. You're an alien, okay? I just come in and I go, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take a beam balance, and you're like, oh guys, this guy's also talking about beam balance. Oh no. So let's imagine that I have two things, and then I'll say I'll put some amount of iron on this side, okay? And I'll call this 1 kg. Whatever I have to put on the other side to match this is what I'll call 1 kg of that. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Till now, is this a reasonable method to find out? So what have I don't know what mass is. I don't care what the word is. Do we care about words?
Oh, like that. Understood.
I don't care about the words. I'm just saying, hey, you know what? I'll tell you why this is useful in a bit. But all I'm going to do is keep two things that are kind of like getting balanced, and I'm going to put something here. Whatever on this other side balances it has the same. It's kind of similar to this in some way. I don't know what it is similar in. It's similar in some way. Wouldn't you all agree? Because you put more, it goes down. You put less, it goes up. But you put some exact amount, these two balance. Then something about this quantity of this and this much of this have something in common. Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Aman, would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Aman is like, wait.
Mm.
I'm thinking about other things. Are you thinking about one of the questions we were already talking about? Because that happens a lot when we talk, right? Yeah.
Just wondering. That means volume is relative to mass. More volume doesn't generally mean more mass.
It doesn't mean more mass, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so this is how I've understood. So you don't need. So when you talk about mass, you don't talk about size. You don't even talk about volume. You just say, I have this much. I have this much. Like each molecule. You don't care about density. You say 1 molecule of cotton weighs like 1 gram. Let's just keep it. It definitely now weighs 1 gram, but it weighs 1 gram. 1 molecule of iron weighs 10 grams. Or I mean, 1 molecule of 1 molecule of iron weighs 10 grams. So you need 10 molecules of cotton to match the same amount.
You guys can literally do this, right? Like if you go really deep, let's get into the bottom of this, shall we?
Yes, sure.
Go to the bottom of this. You take a hydrogen atom. You put one hydrogen atom on one side, let's say, if you can find it in that form, and then you put one helium atom on the other side. Will they balance on the beam balance? On the imaginary beam balance, would they balance?
So I think helium would be heavier because it has more atomic mass.
Now you're using the word atomic mass in that.
Yes.
The word mass is there in that. So
now I understood. The mass is there. So understood. So you'll need like 2 molecules of helium to make 1 molecule of hydrogen.
2 molecules of hydrogen.
2 molecules of hydrogen to make 1 molecule of helium.
Aman, have you been exposed to like hydrogen, helium, all those elements? Have you seen some of them?
I dreadfully wasted my time memorizing the first 20 elements of the periodic table for some exam where they only asked the first 5.
Oh, okay, so
I went to bed and
your problem is
memorized the
not
first
that you have to memorize. Your problem is you have to memorize 20. So if you're going to make me memorize, at least ask me all the 20.
No, I'm even fine with memorizing all of them. That's fine. I'm saying you asked only like 1/5 of that. What will I do with it?
Yeah, 1/4. I know this is not the time to be particular about this, but 5 out of 20 is 1/4, isn't it?
No, I was just saying.
Someone is like, this is bad. Yeah, sorry.
I put that. It just.
Yeah. But that answers my question though. What I wanted to know, which is, you know what hydrogen is, what helium is. You've got to the bottom. Do you see it? Like the bottom of the bottom of the bottom of this is, hey, if you take some really tiny atoms like protons, they happen to have this property called mass. That's why do they have this property called mass? We don't know. But what is this property called mass? 2 protons are harder to move than 1 proton. If you ask me why, we don't know. We don't know.
No.
Yes.
Each
How
proton
does
is hard to move.
proton have mass?
Yeah, Why does a proton have?
Some teachers claimed that first they said molecule is the smallest particle of matter. Then they said atom is the smallest. Then they said there are three more. Now they're saying quarks.
Then tomorrow, after we find out what's inside quarks, we'll tell that also. See, when
Yeah.
the word atom is basically indivisible, right? When we found it, we thought it's indivisible only. It's
But
not. It's not the teacher's fault. It's humanity's fault. Each time we find, we're like,
No, sir.
hopefully
An
this is the
atom
last layer, and then it's not. Like imagine, isn't it really frustrating in some ways if you think about it? You're human. You're like you arrive at this rock, and you're like, okay, I guess I'll figure stuff out, and then you figure out, hey, you know what? I found out atoms, and you're like super excited, and then you find that there's a deeper layer, and then you're like, okay, this must be indivisible, and there's a deeper layer. What if it's like just endless onion peels? You're just like peeling off. Like 500 years later, we know things inside quarks, then inside them. Maybe that's how it is. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. What do you want to say about that?
So I think I'm not. I'm just throwing it out there. I think it's true that atoms are indivisible for the sole reason that we just know what's inside them. Nobody has ever been able to. I don't think anybody has been able to just take a knife, pachak the atom, split it into two.
I like it. Imagine take a knife and pachak the atoms, right?
Yeah, exactly. Nobody's done that.
We kind of do. We do pachak atoms all the time. Pachak
like-
atoms has caused a lot of destruction, by the way. Like when you pachak atoms, like,
Atomic bomb.
yeah, weird shit happens. Like when you pachak the atoms. We found it out. Like we found that out, and then
So the pachak the atoms is a very nice word.
when you pachak the atoms,
Yes.
a lot happens. Except you don't use a knife, like because it's too thick, but you use other mechanisms. You like bombard it with something, and then
1 second, sir.
like you shoot it with something smaller. Aman is like, I'm learning. Don't trouble me. Yeah.
Yes, I'm back.
Yeah. So let me do one thing here. Let me bring this focus of this discussion into a little bit of like, let's close a few threads we've opened, because I like to open a few threads, but not too many. Where we went was, hey, mass versus weight. What is mass exactly? We've now dug deeper. I want to say this because it's important to say it this way. If you take a proton, you notice that you clump 3 protons together, right? You take this one proton, you compare the two, it looks like getting this proton to move is easier than getting these 3 protons to move. But even this proton is harder to move than an electron, right? And you're like, why? And then you call it mass. You're like, okay, cool, I'm just going to make up a word for this. The electron is easier to move, so I'm going to say it has lesser mass. Proton is harder to move, so it has more mass. A neutron has slightly harder to move, so it has more mass. I give it a word. What is this mass really telling me? How difficult it is to move something if it's at rest, and how difficult is it to stop it if it's already moving? In other words, it tells me, but why is this? We don't know. Like, why are things just not moving by themselves? Why do I have to do something to move them? I don't know. Why is it that some things are... So telling its amount of matter is because if you have more and more protons together, one proton is hard. So more protons put together will be harder, right?
Yes, sir.
So it kind of sounds logical. Maybe there's a universe where more protons put together is easier, but that's not the universe we live in. You put more protons together, it is harder. So it's kind of like, feels like it makes sense. Yeah, Aman?
Little did the person who coined the word mass know that children all over the world will be racking their brains trying to figure out what the hell it is.
What the hell it is? And is it different from weight? And then they'll get 3 marks for answering it correctly in 9th standard or 10th standard exams, right? The person who came up with mass. Yeah, I mean, I think people come up with these terms to make their life easier, but they end up making other people's life more difficult. Because the people...
Like the Italians.
Sorry?
It's all the Italians' fault. They made school. They made the education system. I love pasta, I love pizza, but they made the education system. I don't like them for that.
They made the education system. I should dig into the history of the education system to find out more about who made this. So let's come to this question then. Before, I want to see, now that we've done all of this, does the earth pull... So let's assume we don't know what mass is, right? We kind of know what mass is now, right? By the way, we can dig deeper in a bit, like we can always understand things deeper. But as of now, this is good. Is mass and weight, you were saying, right, Smaran? Okay, then they say multiply by some 9.8, you'll get something called weight. You know what? You can imagine weight much easier. In my opinion, weight is way more easy to understand than mass. Way more easy. This is how I think about it. Let's see if it makes sense to you. So Aman, how do you think about weight? Like, what according to you is like weight then? Like, hey, what is weight? Aman is-
Basically, I
these noobs have to answer everything to these people. Yeah, Aman, go ahead.
no. I have two things. One, it's the amount of this thing, embracement of the gravity of an object.
What word did you use? Embracement.
Yes,
It's like
it's hugging the
essentially
object.
imagining Earth is like, come here, come here. It's like, dude, I love your imagination. Yeah.
Or it's the amount of force that hypothetically mass is fighting against gravity to keep you upright, and the amount that force is called weight. I don't know. I just thought that.
Yeah. So mass is trying to not move, right? The mass is trying to keep you wherever you are. The more massive you are, you'll keep there. This is the best time to break it to you all because I don't think this is easy to come up with on your own.
Oh no.
I'm gonna break it to you. It so happens, by the way, like, it so happens what Newton said is that the force of gravity also it pulls you harder if you have more mass. So imagine I'll pull you harder if you have more mass, but like you watched in that video, Smaran. Anyway, it's harder to pull you because you have more mass. So these two end up canceling each other out perfectly. It kind of sounds weird, right?
Which two?
Yeah. Which two?
Oh.
So, but then in moon it'll be like because the gravity is lesser. Shouldn't it not cancel each other out?
Oh. So yeah, I think the point here, fair point. It's not canceling each other to do with anything to do with the Earth. Okay. So basically, the idea is that two objects attract each other based on how massive they are. Like the force they feel is proportional to the product of their masses. Now, this is kind of what Newton figured out. Like he was like, there is a universal law of gravity, and he was like, every object in the universe, if you take it, like you take one particle and one particle, they both feel an attraction towards each other. In other words, like you are currently gravitationally pulling the mug that's in front of you, Aman. Did you have a mug in front of you? Like you had a bottle in front of you, right? Did you all know that? And the amount of force you are, if you have 2 point objects, if you have two like objects, they're both attracting each other with a force that's like the more massive both of them are, the more force they feel.
Yeah.
And the farther they are, the less force they'll feel. But there's some details there, like how that force reduces with distance. Like the farther and farther you take it, the weaker the force. The closer you are, the more the force. And the more massive each of these is. It doesn't matter which is more massive. If you make this alone more massive also, it doesn't matter if this is 10 and this is 1, or if this is like 3 and this is 3. Like I should pick better numbers. If this is 6 and this is 2, then you get 12 as the force between them. If like this is 4 and this is 3, then also you get 12 between them. The force between them is still like the same. It's equal to the product of the masses. Now again, you might ask why. I know we've gone like as always like somewhere, but Newton wouldn't have a good answer to that. He would say that's what I observed, and my observation is that there is a force called gravity. It's like a ghost; you can't see it, but it acts like this. It does this. That's what he'd say. But yeah, what questions do you have based on what I said here?
I have a question.
Yeah.
It's regarding Smaran's thing. He said that on the moon it won't cancel each other out because gravity is less, and your mass will be more. But I think of gravity as water and I think your mass as water and gravity as a jug. No, the other way around. Your mass as water and your gravity as a jug. You have a jug and you pour in water, or in this case, gravity. It's the jug is only going to hold so much gravity because the jug can only hold that much, which in this case is mass. So on the moon, let's just imagine the jug got a little smaller. Gravity is only gonna, apply its force so much based on what my mass is and how it can do it.
I kind of understood what you said. Let me ask a side question here. Is the mass of like you take like Smaran? Smaran on Earth has some mass. Does Smaran on Moon have same mass or different mass?
So the mass should be same because it's just a quantity, right?
Just by definition, we just said it's the amount of molecules.
Yeah, so it should be the same.
Aman, do you think Smaran's mass is same on Moon or different on Moon? Because what you said implied that the mass is different on Moon. Yeah. Is it the same or?
I wasn't implying that the mass was different. I'm saying that the gravity is different.
Okay.
Wait, did I say gravity was water or the jug?
I was
meant,
also confused. We were like, you said the gravity is the jug and the mass is the water, which I was kind of hard to.
yeah. So, let me take a different example. Yeah, fine. Let's just take this example.
Yeah.
But in the sense of so jug, you pour water, and there's only so much that the jug can hold. It can't hold infinity. So on Earth, the jug can hold this much. Let's say 500 ml of water. But on the moon, the jug can hold only 200 ml. Hypothetical situation.
Yeah.
Indicating that the gravity is less, but you still have the same amount of water. So what will happen is you'll only pour as much water, in this case is mass, into the jug, so that to fill it. So what I'm trying to imply is that it will cancel because your mass is only going to act as much as the gravity can act on you.
You know what? It's a really hard analogy to follow, but I have a feeling you have an intuitive grasp of why it should cancel. I have a feeling. But the analogy with the jug and the water, I'm finding it hard to keep in mind because I probably have different metaphors in my mind.
Okay, so can I draw this out for you? Would that
You can.
easier?
You can. In a moment, though, can I ask a couple of more questions aligned to this? Because I first want to know, is the mass same on the moon or not? That's question number one.
It's different.
The mass is the same.
Is the mass of Smaran mass?
Different.
It's different.
Same.
Same.
Pick one. Aman, different or same?
Same.
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 Yeah. It's the amount of matter, so it's same. We can go into why those two cancel each other, Smaran. It's actually not as complex as you might think. It's pretty intuitive once you see a few examples to see why that's the case. Because all you have, it's very mathematical actually. Because
I got it. Because
yeah,
when there is in the earth, you have you need certain amount of force to be pushed, your inertia. Your inertia. So I am this stubborn kid sitting in earth, and the earth wants to pull me, but then it will require more force to pull me as I'm more fat. I know it's a very dumb analogy, because I'm fat, so it needs more force to pull me.
When you say fat, do you mean more massive? You're more mass here?
Yeah, more mass.
On the moon, would you be less massive?
No. Same massive, but then the gravitational force that is required to pull me, that will be 1/6.
On the moon.
Yeah, on the moon. I mean, the gravitational force is 1/6.
I can help you. Shall I help you?
Yes, definitely.
Because it's like there's a lot that you guys are thinking about. Let me guide it step by step. Step one: is the mass of Smaran same on Earth and Moon? Aman?
Yeah.
Yes. The second question: Earth is pulling Smaran with some force called gravity. Moon is pulling Smaran with some force called gravity. Are these two gravities equal?
No.
Or is one of them larger than the other?
The Earth is larger than the moons.
Okay, Smaran says Earth is larger than the moons. Aman, your answer?
I agree.
You agree with it. And that's because Earth is more massive.
Yeah.
And gravity happens to depend on the mass of both those objects. Are you with me till here?
Yeah.
Perfect. Now, if you apply a force on a heavy object, so the mass is same on both sides, right?
Yeah.
So on the Earth, will the object fall faster than on the moon?
Yeah.
On the Earth, yeah, it should fall faster.
Then you guys are right.
Wait.
I love how Smaran always uses the word should.
It should. So you guys are right. If you drop something on the Earth, it'll fall. Smaran will fall faster to the Earth on Earth than he does on the moon. So there's no cancelling out. Like, we are now talking about two different things. Now, if Aman and Smaran are falling together on Earth, would they fall together on Earth or not?
No, different times.
That's the different question. That's where it gets interesting, because even though So Aman and Smaran, I'm assuming you guys are not the same mass, right? If you aren't, it so happens. But if I drop you though, you both might fall together. You both will fall together if there's no air. That's the part that's really interesting. That's what I think. Smaran asked in the beginning. Hey, but that is the Earth pulling you to the same?
Oh, so I confused this two people topic with the fact that there's one person in this.
And over here and on the moon. Those two are like not the same. But let me ask you this. Like I'm going to build it up with question by question, and let's see how far we get here. Is the Earth pulling Smaran and Aman equally with gravity?
No.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
But we both fall at the same pace.
If you both go to the moon, would the moon be pulling you two equally?
Yeah. No. Again, no.
You have different masses.
Me.
Oh yeah.
Sorry,
Yes.
sorry. Just please note whatever you were going to say down. Please note that down. You may forget. We don't want that to happen. Oh, let me guess. If I
See
walk,
mine?
oh my.
Yeah, there's a camera on the face.
Yeah, damn.
So it can be like, yo, what's up, boy? Wait, I'll show you the Raspberry
Yeah.
Pi. Give me a sec.
So Raspberry Pi 2007, right?
Yeah. Can you see
Yes.
the Raspberry Pi in the center?
The belly of the robot.
Yeah, the belly.
So how's your delivery?
I hope it gets delivered. It's a phone that I ordered. I hope this guy leaves it away. I told him half the OTP and he seemed satisfied. Yeah. Let's see if I get another call. But we're almost at the end of like today's episode because I want to pause at this moment. Because I know Smaran has another class to go in like 5 minutes.
So no, sir. Even if I join 5 minutes late, I'll finish it off, sir.
Yeah. I'm gonna take now. I can manage the time in a way like I told you. Just give me one moment. Yes. So yeah, man. Let's go with yours and let's close the whatever open questions we'll have. We'll do it another episode. I actually by the way, I enjoyed this way too much. We should do this more often for sure.
Yes, sir, definitely.
Genuinely, yeah. I just missed this so much. Let's do it. Yeah. Yes, man. Yeah, man. What's your?
My mind is going to blow. I need to tell you.
Yeah.
Sorry. So, this jug over here is Earth. Okay, that is Earth, and the water inside this is mass. Is my mass. Let's say my mass. But this jug is the moon's gravity, or the moon's gravity, Earth's gravity, moon's gravity. The moon's gravity is only going to pull this much mass, and this much mass is left over. So this is the leftover mass. So this moon's gravity is only going to pull as much as it can, and the remaining mass is just floating up. That's why we float up. I'm guessing. I think so. So it will cancel each other out because the gravity is full. So
The gravity is full, and what will cancel each other out? What things?
the mass and the gravity, and that's
Even on
why
the
we
moon you're
stay at a
telling
that's why we stay at a neutral position on the z axis spectrum.
Do we though? Like on the moon, will you fall down?
So wait, sir, this is what I understood. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm on the Earth,
Yeah.
all my body parts are attached. I'll get pulled toward. Everything will get pulled toward at the same speed, and I'll land on the Earth. If I'm on the moon, then my head will stay up, and my other parts of my body will go down.
Oh, how did you conclude that? Yeah.
So no, I did not conclude that, sir. I don't.
That's
get
what
it.
Aman's conclusion should lead to. Is that what you mean? Is an
Yes, sir. That's what
implication
I
of
mean.
that. Interesting. So Aman, I'm still finding it hard to latch on to this analogy of the jug and the amount of water, and how. So you're saying that on the Earth, the Earth jug is. So the Aman jug is bigger on Earth than it is on Moon. Is that correct?
No, the Aman is the water, and the water remains the same. The Earth jug is the gravity. The Moon jug is also the gravity, but the Moon jug is smaller than the Earth jug. So no,
How is it that both of them are full? How is it that both of them are full?
because
Like the moon jug should have some excess water.
Yeah, there's
They
some
can-
excess water. should
yeah,
be-
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, this is that excess water. That's why we float.
Okay, you're like, oh, that's the excess water. Okay, it's on the floor. Okay.
No, that's why we float, because some of that mass, and back to Smaran's point, Smaran, your head will not get detached.
Now I
Because
understood why Smaran said this must mean your head will get detached because like whatever the extra spillover, my head is floating there with the rest of the body.
no, this is your body as a whole. So that mass wants to go up, but and that mass is more than what.
Oh, so you're saying the speed at which I travel down will become lesser to counteract the part that my head also needs to come down.
No. I'm saying, um, I think by default your mass wants to go up.
Your mass wants to go up or wants to stay wherever it is?
It
Because
wants
mass
to
is-
stay wherever you are. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
But on Earth, gravity fights that need to stay up.
Yeah.
But on the moon, the gravity does not have the capability to hold the mass down completely. So half of it is still floating in the air. So that floating in the air represents the overspilled water.
Got it. So now that I understood it, I can safely tell you, Aman, that this analogy is probably misleading. Because I'll tell you why.
Correct?
I don't need to imagine such a hard scenario to imagine something simple, right? Like imagine on the Earth, you're on Earth, Aman. That's equal to me pulling you with some force. Two of us pulling you. On the moon, it's equal to one of us pulling you. That's it. That's all you need. You don't need too much of a more complex analogy. It's just the amount of force being applied on you, not the some part of you experiencing force and some. Do you agree that I can apply different forces on you? I can push you hard. I can push you soft. Correct?
Correct, yeah, true.
That's it. The Earth pushes you hard, the moon pushes you soft, everything else remains same. Everything else is remaining the same. You don't need too many bigger analogies. If you're actually floating in space, you can't see anything. The only difference you'll feel is, hey, I feel a stronger pull when you're on Earth. On the moon, you feel a lighter pull. The harder question to answer is, why is it then? This is a different question. The different question is, why does a hammer and a feather fall together? Both on Earth and on moon. That's the harder question. Isn't that what you were asking, Smaran?
Yes,
these
sir,
were different
that's right.
questions. And these were different questions, but I'm not going to answer that today. I realized that when we go into these, we can't predict the time. So let's maybe meet again and answer these two questions, which is, hey, why does the feather and a hammer fall together on Earth? Like, we now know that, do they have different masses? I'm going to close with these two questions. Okay, do they have different masses, feather and hammer?
Yeah.
The feather and hammer, yes, they have different
Does
masses.
the Earth pull the hammer more than it pulls the feather, or pulls them equally, or does it pull the feather more?
Sir, it pulls the hammer more because the hammer does not, and like the hammer does not go at a faster speed because the hammer also needs more force to get pulled on because it has a greater mass.
Yeah,
So it's like I'm the stubborn kid. I need more force to pull you, but like because you have more mass, you also get pulled more. So both of
Those
them
two are
cancel
cancelling.
out.
That's perfect. That's a perfectly acceptable qualitative explanation. Aman, are you in agreement with Smaran what he's saying? Hey, the Earth pulls the hammer more, but it's also harder to move the hammer. So even though the Earth, so for example, if you put them on a beam balance, which is basically how you measure which is getting pulled more, the
Yeah.
hammer will fall down more. Like hammer is getting pulled more.
Yeah.
But if you leave them though, both of them fall together. But by the way, do you know that they fall together? Like,
Yes, sir.
let's assume that.
So there was this video where the
don't.
computer and the
Aman is like-
the
Aman is saying
computer
they
and
don't. So if you remove air, Aman,
Oh, if you remove air for sure, yeah.
if you remove air, they do. Then the question there is, so I'm going to close this with just one question. Let's say I'm even convinced with Smaran. What Smaran is telling us, hey, it gets pulled more, but moving it is harder. So those two effects cancel each other. But isn't it weird that they exactly cancel each other? Isn't it super weird? Isn't it like, what? Yeah.
that's
All of this comes to, okay, so if we understand this, then we can understand, okay, how gravity works. And then we can ask, how does gravity from the sun actually make it harder for Earth to rotate? That's one of the questions we opened up. And finally, we can answer, okay, then how can we code Newton's first law into this and make some, I was going to make an Among Us character actually move according to Newton's first law. That's one of the things that I was trying to build just for fun. So let's do that in another day because I know you guys have to run. So can we set up another day and do this?
Sure, sir,
I just have one question, sir.
Yeah.
Just 2 minutes of your time.
Yeah, I'm good. Smaran, you have to run, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. No, completely fine, sir. I'll make up for the thing. I'll stay late and finish.
Okay, I'm going to take only 1 more minute. 60 seconds, let's close whatever we're doing. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
sir, sure. Sir.
So basically, gravity is the fighting between mass and your weight is the fighting between mass and gravity, right?
No, no. Your weight is pretty much simply put. Actually, it is good to answer. Your weight is just how much force should I apply to keep this not falling down.
Okay, yeah,
Right?
that's all I wanted to
So
know.
hammer is heavier than feather. So what is cancelling out is acceleration, which we'll talk about later. But the weight is simply, hey, how much force should I be putting so that I cancel out the force of gravity? That's all. Asmaran, you multiply by 9.8 only because you're calculating that force. Weight is just force. Hey,
Yes, sir.
there is some hammer. How much force am I applying to keep it not falling down? That answer to that question is what we call weight. And that's
Yes,
kind of
sir.
why you go stand on something and then see how much force is it putting.
Yes, sir. Now I completely understood, sir.
Cool.
Yes.
Let's meet again because I think that we can
Sir,
actually.
and plus, sir, I think we'll meet. We'll need to meet more, like again after that again, because I have two more doubts.
Perfect. That's the perfect kind of learning where we get more questions but better ones this time. Yeah. Cool.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let's meet again. A last round. We'll figure out when we'll do this again. We can keep doing it more frequently. I think I'm just trying to because I just love this and I didn't need much. I just like that I have no plan to make because I can't make a plan for this one. Right? It just goes wherever. Yeah, man.
It's not really related to auto learning. It's related to this style of learning.
Yeah.
So yeah, should I tell you like after class or now or because I think
We can talk about it right now. Asmaran, if you have to run, you can go ahead.
yeah.
Like, bye bye. Enjoy your
Yes,
next
sir.
class and have
Yes, sir.
fun.
I'll stay for 2 more minutes and leave, sir.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what if it's just it's not a suggestion, it's an idea that I have. What if we make this style of learning like a podcast or a live stream and you stream it on your channel or something and it's optional. So this style it's like a marketing strategy. This style of learning will attract people to come. Because they'll seem interested. They'll be like, oh, okay, they're learning like this, and it'll be sort of like an open house, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Maybe I should hire you for more of these things.
Please do,
I honestly
please do.
think it's a great idea. I honestly think it's a really, really good idea. My YouTube channel is there. I mean, if you guys are up for it, let's look at the video of this. If you think people would want to watch this, I actually think you know what. I actually think it might be pretty watchable. So we can put it out there and we can.
And you look epic with that mic setup. So
I know, right? Yeah. So maybe we'll do that. Cool. I'm gonna think about this more. Aman, if you guys are okay with it, then maybe I'll put it out on YouTube and let's see what
Sure,
happens.
sir.